Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Go video. In this video, we're going to be going over the top 20 best tips to maximize Mamoswine Community Day. Now, this is going to be a last-minute preparation guide as Mamoswine Community Day does start relatively soon, so we're going to be going over everything in the quickest and fastest way possible so you guys can get the most amount of information in the least amount of time. Now, before we go ahead and get started, though, as always, if you guys do enjoy this video, feel free to hit that like button down below, and if you guys are new to the channel, consider subscribing for more Pokemon Go content like this. Also, one thing I do want to touch on, we are almost at 5,000 subscribers right now. I will be doing a 5 million Stardust spending spree once we hit 5,000 subscribers, so make sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys do want to see me do that. We're not going to spend all 5 million Stardust, but we will be spending a lot of it. There's not going to be any limit on how much we do spend, so if you guys just want to see an insane Stardust spending spree, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys have not done so already. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the video. Now, the first tip I have for you guys is going to be to know your time zone. And I know it seems like a very self-explanatory thing, but a lot of people don't actually know when their community day actually starts. So go to PokemonGoLive.com, or at least read the in-game announcement on the Pokemon Go app itself to find out when exactly your community day does start. It is going to go in the order of the Europe region first, then the Americas, and then finally the APAC region. And this is all going to be under the Pacific Standard Time, so make sure to find out exactly when that is going to take place in your region. Now, the second tip I have for you guys is going to be to get your 10 guaranteed Sinnoh stones. You can get 5 from the team leader battles, as well as 5 from PvP battles with other trainers. Under the in-game announcement, Niantic did state that you can only get up to 5 Sinnoh stones, but this has actually changed since then. They did post a tweet saying that you are guaranteed 5 Sinnoh stones from each of these, so it was confirmed by Niantic, even though the in-game announcement does say something else. Now, the third tip is actually going to be pretty relative to the second tip in the sense where you can actually PvP anytime throughout the day. It does not need to be during that 3-hour time window. A big misconception is that it did have to be on this time window, but Niantic did recently post a tweet saying that you can do it at any time during the day as long as your community day is going to be on that specific day. For example, the Europe region is going to have their community day later on today, but for the Americas, it's going to be tomorrow. So I can't actually PvP today and expect to get the Sinnoh stones because my community day is going to be tomorrow. And as well, the same with the APAC region, it's going to be on the 17th, so they can't actually do it on either of these 2 days, only on the day where their community day is going to be live. That is the difference. Now, on top of that, though, I'd highly recommend PvPing before and after Community Day because you don't really want to do it during the Community Day. You want to focus on catching everything. Now, the fourth tip is going to be to evolve Mamoswine before or after if you only want the ice moves. Don't waste your TMs, guys. It's honestly not worth it. Like, if you don't want Ancient Power, because really, it's only going to be useful for PvP. If you don't want Ancient Power, don't waste your TMs. TMs are already hard enough to get these days. Just evolve your Mamoswine before the event starts or after the event is over. That way you can have a better chance of getting the ice move and you don't have to waste your TMs on the Ancient Power. That is what I recommend if you only want the ice moves, though. Now, if you do want Ancient Power, though, I'd highly recommend evolving at least 20 minutes before the event ends. This way you have enough time to evolve as many Mamoswine as possible, given you do have the Sinnoh stones, of course. But, you know, this way you do have enough time. Additionally, if you do want both, and a friend of mine actually pointed this out to me, you can add the second charge move to get the double ice move, because I believe Ice Shard and Ancient Power is going to be what they use in PvP. You can use the second charge move option to get the double ice move and also have Ancient Power. So, again, this is a possibility if you do want to do that. It's going to cost 50,000 Stardust along with 50 candy to get the second charge move. So if you have the Stardust, if you have the candy, if that is what you want to do preferably, you could do that as well. But again, if you only want the ice moves, just evolve before or after. And if you do want Ancient Power, make sure to evolve during the event, 20 minutes before at the very least. Now, the seventh one is going to be to evolve 2 to 3 extra, even if you don't want them for PvP. Now, I know it does kind of contradict what I did say recently, but the reason I say this is because of the recent battle update regarding stat boosts. Ancient Power is actually going to be one of the moves that gets these stat boosts, and so people who do PvP, even if you don't PvP, are going to want this. And if they weren't able to get this during Community Day, for example, maybe they had to work or something like that, you're going to want to have some ready because it is going to be excellent trade bait. You know, you can maybe even get like a shiny baby from them or something like that if they really, really want this. So definitely recommend if you have the candy, if you have, you know, the Sinnoh stones, evolve like 2 to 3 extra. That's what I'm gonna do, just so you have them for PvP trades. You know, you don't have to PvP, I don't PvP, but it's going to be excellent trade bait. Now, following that, the 8th tip that we have is going to be to set a timer on your phone for Star Piece, Lucky Eggs, etc. Anything you really want to do that's under the 30-minute timer. Highly recommend using the Star Piece though, because we do have triple Stardust on this event. And with the star piece, that is going to boost it up to 4.5 times Stardust, which is incredible, guys. And that is not including a weather boost. So if you guys have a area with the weather boost, more power to you. That is going to be a ridiculous amount of Stardust. Again, the next tip is pretty much going to be in regards to the weather boost. Swinub is going to be boosted from the sun as well as the snow. So if you can find an area with the sunny weather boost or the snowy weather boost, highly recommend it, because that is going to mean that you're going to get more Stardust and boosted Swinubs up to level 35. Incredibly beneficial. Honestly, I'm a little bit jealous because it has been raining here, so we're most likely not going to get either of those boosts. But hey, if you can get one, more power to you. Now the 10th one is going to be in relevance to the current event that is going on in regards to Valentine's Day. Stock up on pineapple berries, guys. We're currently getting double candy on everything, so with pineapple berries, that is going to be 12 times candy. You're going to get 12 Swinub candy for every single pineapple berry you use on a Swinub. That's going to be insane. Like, honestly, you're going to end off the event with like 2,000 or 3,000 candy if you spend your time pretty effectively. So make sure to stock up on pineapple berries. I know it is a little bit last minute, so if you do have them already, you know, that's really, really good. And if you don't have them already, go ahead and spin as many stops as you possibly can. Don't open the quests, like don't start the quests or anything like that, because there are going to be specific Mamoswine Day quests. But spin as many stops as you can, get those pineapple berries, open as many gifts as you can as well, because you also get pineapple berries from those, and just hold on to them and only use them on the Mamoswine, or sorry, only use them on the Swinub. Preferably the low CP Swinub, so it is more of a guaranteed catch. You don't have them breaking out, because that would be kind of annoying if you're wasting pineapple berries. But yeah, make sure to stock up on as many pineapple berries as possible. Next tip is going to be to use the fast catch trick. I've gone over this plenty of times in my previous community day guides. I do have a video on this. You guys can check it out in the top right corner right now. Really, really quick video, 2 to 3 minutes, shows you how to use the fast catch trick, saves you so much time. So I highly recommend using this trick. If you guys don't know about it already, make sure to go check out that video. The next tip is pretty self-explanatory, but again, just catch everything, guys. Don't just catch Swinub, don't just shiny check Swinub, catch everything. It is triple Stardust. You want to get as much Stardust as possible. It is literally like one of the most valuable resources in this game, so literally, catch everything. I kid you not, catch everything. Following that, the next tip is going to be to have at least 150 to 200 open slots in your storage. Pretty much, you know, you're going to go through a lot of Pokemon, especially for using the fast catch trick, and so you're going to have to transfer stuff pretty often if you don't have that much storage. And so if you're spending so much time transferring stuff, you're missing out on catching time, which is going to mean less Stardust and less Swinub candy. So definitely recommend have at least 150 to 200 open slots. Now the next tip is going to be to hold on to as many Great Balls and Ultra Balls over Pokeballs, because that is going to result in a higher catch rate. You want to have a higher catch rate because you don't want to spend too much time on one Pokemon. You want to keep going through Pokemon as fast as possible. And so having Great and Ultra Balls is going to help you do that. And now the next tip is going to be to have your Go Plus on stops only. If you guys don't have a Go Plus, don't worry about this one. But don't leave your Go Plus on Pokemon and stops. Take off Pokemon, only leave it on stops, because you really don't want to have your Go Plus catching Pokemon. You want to be using the fast catch trick for that. If you have your Go Plus catching Pokemon, it's most likely going to run away. And tip number 17 is going to be to hold on to level 25 to level 35 Swinub for trades later on during the event. And I say level 35 just if you have the weather boost. If you don't have the weather boost, level 25 to level 30 would be ideal. But of course, if you do have the weather boost, level 30 to 35 would be the most optimal ones to hold on to. Now the next one is going to be to have a trade buddy during the evolve hour for a potential lucky Swinub. This is going to be really, really important if you do want one with the ancient power moveset. Ideally though, for PvP, you would probably want something like 0, 15, 15. Not exact IVs, but of course you do want to have the 0 attack most likely. And so the potential lucky is most likely going to be used for the ice type attacker rather than a PvP attacker with ancient power. But still, make sure you have that trade buddy, because everyone's going to already be out on community day. And so like I previously mentioned, make sure to trade those level 25 to level 35 Swinub, just so you don't have to spend as much Stardust when you do end up evolving them. I mean, level 35 Swinubs, if you get, you know, 6 level 35 Mamoswine, you're good to go. No Stardust investment necessary. You can hold on to that Stardust for something else. Now tip number 19 is going to be to special trade one shiny Swinub. And so I do recommend at least trading one shiny, just because you do have that possibility of getting a lucky. And a lucky shiny Swinub with the legacy move is going to be pretty rare. It's going to be a nice one to have, so I'd recommend doing that. And now tip number 20 is going to be to hold on to as many good IV Swinub / lucky Swinub for December Community Day 2019, because they're most likely going to bring everything back again and give you the opportunity to get the exclusive move again. So you're going to want to hold on to all your good ones. Don't transfer them, because it's really not going to be worth it. So yeah, make sure to hold on to them still if you do want to get the exclusive move later on during the year. And now tip number 21 is kind of a bonus tip because I'm not 100% sure how accurate this is, but apparently if you lure up your stops before Community Day starts, it doesn't increase the Swinub spawns, whereas if you do it after Community Day starts, it does increase the Swinub spawns. So I don't know how accurate this is kind of more speculative, so take it with a grain of salt, but if you can, try and lure them up after Community Day starts. Tell your community, you know, don't lure up these stops yet. I know we do have 6-hour lures, but just make sure you do it after the event starts. And so with that being said, that is pretty much everything I have for you guys. I tried to include as many tips in here as I possibly could, and I also tried to go over it as fast as I possibly could, but I know it did kind of take some time. Either way, I hope you guys were able to get a lot out of this. If you did find this video helpful and informative, feel free to hit that like button down below. As always, I'd really appreciate it. And if you'd like to see more Pokemon Go content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button for future videos, and I will see you all real soon in the next one.